welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a bit, but I am finally back. I figured I'd come back with a week of workouts for you guys to share my updated split. I'm doing glutes and hams to start off with. I'm doing dynamic stretching. This is basically stretches where you're kind of moving back and forth. You're not really just sitting in a stretch. So that's the difference between dynamic and static stretching. Static stretching is something you want to do after your workout, which I'm not gonna lie, I suck at doing that consistently. So don't feel bad about it if you don't, but I do try to static stretch at least once a week. But I always do my dynamic stretches before my workout, especially on leg day, because it's rough if you don't. If you guys do want an updated video on my dynamic stretching routine, I can definitely do that for you guys. And the first exercise we're going into is on the booty builder. We're going to do cast glute bridges. I'm starting off with a warm-up set. I'm just doing a plate on each side. Warming up for these truly makes the biggest difference for me. I find that on my working sets, I feel it so much more where I'm supposed to if I warm up. And now we are going into our working set. I'm doing 2 plates, which is crazy. We've made so much progress. I'm keeping my chin tucked, and that really helps me get the most contraction. And you want your feet to be parallel with your knees, so keep that in mind. Next, we are going into barbell RDLs. I absolutely love these. I was doing dumbbell RDLs for a bit, but nothing hits the same as a barbell RDL. I just feel the contraction so much more. I have so much more control, and I can lift heavier with the barbell. So yeah, these are definitely a staple in my routine. Next, we are going into Bulgarian split squats, everybody's favorite exercise. These are just the funnest time. I'm really just gonna sit back in that movement, and I have the dumbbell in my non-working leg side just for balance, but you can carry it wherever you'd like. Those are such a good time. And now we're going into glute focused back extensions. You just wanna make sure you're keeping your back rounded and really just squeezing your glutes at the top. I absolutely love these, and they kind of remind me of like a hip thrust, except you're like up and down instead of horizontal. Next, we're going into machine hamstring curls. These really hurt. Like, you can tell by my face, they just are painful and uncomfortable, but the hamstring pump after is just unmatched. These are a super staple in my routine, and you just want to make sure the seat is adjusted to your height, and that's really important for those. Welcome to day 2. Today we are hitting back and biceps, my favorite day of the week. We're hitting an upper body dynamic warm up. There's really no rhyme or reason to my upper body mobility. I just kind of like to warm up my shoulders, warm up my back, do just some stretches that I thought of. Like, literally, it's just whatever feels good to your body. Warm up, that's the most important thing. And the first exercise we're going into is a lat pull down. I'm just using the straight bar. I really wanted to target my lats this day, so that is why I chose a straight bar, but you can use whatever attachment that you would like. And as you can see, I'm kind of leaning back slightly just to get that squeeze. Next exercise we're going into is assisted pull-ups. I am working towards my first real pull-up, so these are essential. I just do a weight that feels really challenging for me. Next, we're going into seated rows. I'm using the machine because the cable one at my gym is a little bit sticky, so I prefer this one. And I'm really just focusing on getting that contraction in the back and then stretching back out. And you don't want to really move your body too much. I know in my last video, I was kind of going way too much forward, so you don't want to do that. You kind of just want to keep your upper body in the same place throughout the movement. Next, we're going into machine rear delt flies. These are going to work your back shoulder area, and I used to neglect these for a long time, so I can't do that much weight on them, but they are really important to do, and they are going to help the appearance of your back. Next, we're going into these straight bar extensions, push downs. I don't really know exactly what this is called, but I just know I absolutely love it. I get the best stretch in my lats on these, and I just really feel them working, and it feels different from other back exercises, so that's why I do them. I am supersetting that with straight bar bicep curls as well. Just like to make sure I am getting my full range of motion here and all that good stuff. Next, we're going into face pulls. There was somebody like taking off their shirt next to me, so I had to zoom in on these, but you just want to make sure you're getting that squeeze. That's really the most important part on these, and take your time with it as well. Also, I should mention these clips are sped up, so I'm not like flying through these movements as fast as it looks like I am. Next, we're just going into some simple straight bar curls, just super simple stuff. Okay, we are back hitting legs again for day 3. This workout is pretty similar to the other leg day, but there is a few differences which you guys will see. But as you can see, I am starting out with cast glute bridges. I didn't go as heavy this day just to give my muscles a little bit of a break. Next, I'm going into barbell RDLs once again, and I did go lighter on these as well. I try to have a heavier day and a lighter day just to balance myself out a little bit. I don't want to overtrain myself, so that's how I kind of do that. Still doing a challenging weight, but it's nothing near what my first leg day was for the week. And then I'm going into leg press. I'm really just focused on time under tension. I did end up adding another plate after this set that I recorded because I felt like the 2 plates was a little too light for me. So yeah, just really focused on that depth, and I want to target my glutes with it. So that's why I have a high stance. Next, we're going into leg extensions. These are going to shorten your quads, which is why they burn so freaking bad. Literally, my face tells you everything you need to know. They hurt so bad, but so worth it. So worth it in the end. And we're going to finish off with glute medius kickbacks. And for these, you just want to make sure you're maintaining a neutral spine, kicking that leg out. I like to kick out at a diagonal as I do feel like it lines it up better with my glute. But if you want to play around with your form, you can do that as well. I also place a plate under my non-working leg just so my working leg isn't scraping the ground. So that's another helpful tip. Okay, last day of my split is push. So we're going to be training chest, tris, shoulders, all of the things. I'm starting off with a warm-up set of dumbbell chest press. And just so you guys know, the last leg day and this day, I still did warm up. I just didn't show it because I didn't want the video to be too repetitive. So make sure you are doing your dynamic stretches before you start lifting. I'm just doing my warm-up here. Then I just grab the 35s, use whatever weight works for you, and I'm just doing 3 sets of 10. You want to make sure your elbows are kind of going at a 45-degree angle. You don't want them to be just straight out because that could cause you some injury, and make sure you have a slight arch in your back and you'll be good to go. Next, I'm going into some skull crushers with a straight bar. You guys, these are absolutely killer for the triceps. You want to make sure your arm stays at a slight angle, and then you just want to push out and feel that contraction in your tricep. Y'all, this hurts so bad. Every time I am sore after doing these. Next, we're going into seated dumbbell shoulder press. Y'all, this is a staple for shoulders. You probably see it all over social media, but it just hurts so freaking bad. But you want to make sure your form is right. So as you can see, I'm not coming straight out. I'm coming at a 45-degree angle on these. And that just helps to get full range of motion and make sure your shoulder muscle is lined up correctly. Going into alternating front raises. These hurt so freaking bad, but they are going to work your front delt, and I feel like I always neglect my front delt, so I was like, I need to add these into my routine. And yeah, as you can see, literally in so much pain, but so worth it. Next, we're going into, I said hi to my friend. We are just going into cable lateral raises. These are so hard, and as you can see, I barely have any weight on there because the muscle that you're working is so tiny that you don't need a whole lot of weight. These are an absolute game changer, and I've grown to love them over time. Next, we are going into a tricep push down with the straight bar. You're just gonna come straight down, feeling that tricep burn, and trust me, it is going to burn. Your arm's probably gonna feel numb after, but again, so worth it. And then next we're doing an overhead tricep extension, and these are essentially doing the same thing, but it's overhead, so it's a little bit more of a challenge, and I do feel like the weight feels a little bit heavier. So as you can see, pain. And then to finish off this week of workouts, we are just gonna do chest flies. I don't see a lot of girls using this machine, but I really feel like you should because the chest contraction I get is insane. And I really feel like it is a staple on all my chest days. Thank you guys so much for watching this week of workouts. And I just wanna let you know more vlogs, what I eat in a days, more fitness content is on the way. So definitely stay tuned. And thank you guys as always for your patience and your support. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.